I'm going to be honest with you. My husband and I don't talk very much, and we sleep in separate rooms. What did you think when I said that? Did you feel worried? Did you think, oh, that marriage is over? Don't worry, we are absolutely fine. My name is Kate. I am 54 years old. I have been married to George for 26 years. And we have a dog. His name is Buddy. We are probably not what you imagine when you think of a perfect couple. But today, I want to tell you our story. Let me tell you what a typical evening looks like in our house. I am on the sofa in the living room, watching television. George is in his study, sitting at his computer. He works from home, and after work, he plays video games late into the night. We are in the same house, but rarely in the same room. Do we talk? Yes, sometimes, but not every day, and not for very long. One evening after dinner, something happened. George came into the living room. He sat down next to me on the sofa, and he started talking about a drama series he had watched recently. It was one I had been wanting to watch too. And then he just kept going. There's a film out that looks really good. I think I need a proper holiday, a whole week off. We should go on a trip somewhere. I listened. I thought, he'll probably change his mind about all of this. I didn't get too excited. I have lived like this for many years, so now I do not expect much. I just listen. When I was young, I believed everything he said. I expected a lot, and I felt sad when he did not do what he promised. Now, I do not depend on him. This distance feels easier for me. But I didn't mind the conversation, not at all. We kept talking over dinner for about an hour. And then, when there was nothing more to say, George stood up. Right, good night then. Good night, I said. Just like that. Like a club activity finishing for the day. Everyone go home. That is us. But I want to be honest. It wasn't always like this. There was a time when I really struggled with our life. Sometimes I would meet friends and the conversation would turn to husbands. One friend told me her colleague and his wife had just been skiing in France together. Another friend and her husband were taking tennis lessons every weekend. I sat and listened and felt very alone. Because in our house, separate rooms, barely any conversation. We never go out together. At meal times, we both just end up in the kitchen at the same time. We eat. Sometimes we talk. Sometimes we don't. The silence. I still notice it sometimes. If I'm honest, on weekday evenings, on weekends, George is always gaming. We have no shared hobbies, no shared interests. We're not normal, are we? That thought came to me more than once, more than a few times. When I was younger, it was worse, much worse. I compared us to other couples. Couples who talked every day. Couples who did everything together. Husbands who actually seemed interested in their wives. Why wasn't George like that? Back then, we shared a bed, but he wouldn't sleep until 3 in the morning. I lay there in the dark, waiting. And I worried about other things too. Things I won't go into detail about. But the distance between us, in every sense, was something I struggled with deeply. I thought about divorce. Seriously. While I still had time to start again, maybe I should find someone else. I really did think that. But I couldn't take that step. Partly for financial reasons. I'll be honest about that too. But there was something else. Something I realised about myself. I'm a little different, a little unusual. I know that about myself. The kind of man people call the perfect husband, intelligent, attentive, always saying the right thing, always noticing everything, I don't think I could live with someone like that. Because men like that tend to expect the same in return. Keep the house cleaner. Cook more. Why didn't you notice? I couldn't do that. I know I couldn't. George is different. He never complains about what I do or don't do. I don't have to work full time. I don't have to contribute money to the household. He never says a word about any of it. He lets me be free. He has his own quirks, I won't pretend otherwise. But living with George, I slowly learned over a long time that it suits me. That it is, surprisingly, comfortable. Getting older helped too. My body changed. My priorities changed. The things that used to frustrate me, I stopped fighting them so hard. Some people might call that giving up, but I think of it differently. I think it means I finally became honest about what I actually need. And then there was the matter of separate bedrooms. It started with something very small. I got influenza. I moved into the other room so I wouldn't disturb George. And lying there alone, I could cough whenever I needed to. I could turn the light on, curl up any way I wanted, get up in the middle of the night without worrying about anyone. I thought, this is incredibly comfortable. I had always believed that married couples should share a bed. Even without much conversation, at least there was that. But when I got better, I thought, maybe it's okay to just stay here. And George never came back to the room either. He must have felt the same way. I felt a little lonely, if I'm honest, just for a moment, but also relieved. So I let it be. Buddy moves freely between both rooms, so both doors stay open. I can always sense George in the next room, a light on, the sound of his keyboard. Separate, but not alone. The right kind of distance. Still, the weight of other people's opinions is hard to shake. A friend once said to me, "Separate bedrooms? Does that mean the spark is completely gone?" It stung. Just for a moment. Just a little. One Sunday morning, I woke up early. George had been gaming until late the night before. He was still asleep. I made myself a coffee in the kitchen. Buddy padded around my feet. I took my coffee outside into the garden. I sat down in my chair. The morning air was cool and clean. I took a sip, and I thought, quietly, to no one in particular, I'm happy. Right now, I'm happy. Nothing special was happening. George wasn't there talking to me. We weren't having breakfast together. But everything felt quiet and free and exactly right. Something became clear to me in that moment. The reason I can live this freely, the reason I can read my books, watch my dramas, take my time, is because George works hard, every day, without complaining. He makes our life possible, and for that, I am genuinely grateful. I spent many years thinking about our marriage. I compared it to other people's ideas of what a marriage should be. But who decided what the right answer was? George and I don't fight to win arguments, because whether we argue or not, the day passes. The same hours go by either way. So why not make those hours pleasant? Why not choose to be in a good mood? At 54, I feel this more strongly than ever. The first half of my life is behind me. There is less time ahead than behind. So, I will do what I love. If I want to go somewhere, I will go, even alone. Waiting for someone else to be ready, that is a waste of time. I will be myself, and our marriage, it can be whatever works for us. That morning, sitting in the garden with my coffee, I decided that. This is what our life looks like now. At night, he plays his games. I watch the dramas I want to watch. Buddy moves between our 2 rooms whenever he pleases. If we have something to talk about, we talk. If there's nothing to say, we say nothing. That's it. Not long ago, I met an old friend for coffee. She looked at me and said, "Kate, you always seem like you're having a good time. You just seem happy." That meant so much to me, more than she probably knew. Not, "You seem like you have a perfect marriage," just, "You seem happy." And I am. I really am. Not because everything is perfect, but because I stopped trying to make it look perfect. There is no perfect marriage, but I believe every couple can create their own version of what works. You don't have to match the world's idea of normal. If both people are comfortable, that is the right answer. I have a question for you today. What does your ideal relationship look like? And is the relationship you have now close to that or far from it? Please share in the comments. It encourages me more than you know to keep making these videos. I will read every single one, every word, I promise. And if something in Kate's story felt true to you, please subscribe.
If you enjoyed today's story, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching through to the end. New stories come out every week on this channel. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care and bye-bye.